Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be doing a fragrance collection tag video, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, I was tagged in this video by Quality Fragrances. Going to leave a comment or a link down below to his channel. Check him out. He's got great content. And I believe this tag was started by Big Beard Business, so again, I'm going to leave a link down to his channel, but most of you probably already know who he is. But this is 13 questions related to my fragrance collection. And the first one is newest fragrance in my collection. I'm going to be assuming that means the newest fragrance that I purchased. And the newest one that I bought is actually a Nishane. It's called Unutamin. There's a lot going on with this fragrance. It was actually a bit of a blind buy because I am a big fan of Nishane. They haven't really let me down so far. I will say this is a challenging fragrance. It has a lot of animalic notes in it. One of the things I liked about it or intrigued me about it, it also has mint and caramel, which sounded like a really nice or interesting combination. But it also has oregano, which is one of the star players and definitely very different from other fragrances. Nonetheless, I haven't done a review on this one, but I will be talking about this one in the future. I just need to digest this one a little bit more because it is fairly complex, although at the same time there's a lot of very strong notes that do play a major role, like the animalic note, like the oregano. But anyways, there is that one, so I'm going to be doing a review of that in a little bit, so do check that one out. Now, the oldest fragrance in my collection, I think I don't have Nautica Voyage anymore, but that would be one of the first fragrances I've ever bought, and I had a bottle of it for a long time. So the next oldest is actually the Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I've had this basically since it came out, so 2 years or more now. And I do enjoy this one. I've worn a lot of this fragrance, almost got about halfway through. I think this bottle is one of the reasons I decided 50 mils, if they're available, are better value for me, because I will virtually never use 100 mil, and I don't wear it as much as I used to, so it's definitely moving down a lot slower. I do still like this one. It's an easy wear. I mean, Bleu de Chanel, what more is there to say about it? Everybody knows Bleu de Chanel. So the next one is most expensive fragrance in my collection, and I'm going to be going off retail price, not what I've actually paid for it. One of the most expensive, or the most expensive fragrance retail that I have is Viking by Creed. I think this retails around $495 or something, which is a lot of money, and personally I actually wouldn't pay that for this fragrance, but I did get it at Costco for $160. So if you are looking out for Creeds and you are a member of Costco, and I will say specifically that the case is this is typically only available in the US. I haven't seen it available in Canada, which is a little annoying because they're, it's Costco still. But anyways, if you are looking for Creeds, they often have really good deals. I saw Creed Royal Water for, I think it was $80, which is a really good price for 100 ml. But this, $160, I bought it when I was in Oregon as well, so absolutely no sales tax. It was $160 even, so that was absolutely fantastic purchase from me. And I do really, really enjoy this one. It could easily be a signature scent for me. I know Viking has gotten a lot of hate, but I'm also seeing a lot of people warm up to it, so I'm happy about that because I think it is a really fantastic, very mature, masculine fragrance. The next question is most affordable or cheapest fragrance. Now, I do actually have a few cheapies, but I think probably my favorite of the bunch is Encre Noir Sport, and this is one that I probably would still wear a lot. So I have like Mont Blanc Individuel, which is very cheap. I think I probably only paid like $25, $30, maybe not even, maybe even $15, I don't remember. But I don't really wear it anymore. This is one that I'll still wear sometimes in the summer. Not that often, but I do definitely still get some wear out of it, so I chose that one. Really nice vetiver fragrance, and if you're looking for something that has a little bit of a darker mood to it for a summer fragrance and has a nice soapy dry down, this is a good choice. So it is a really high quality vetiver fragrance, especially considering the price point. I do like that one a lot. And the next one is Easy Reach fragrance. Especially being in summer, I'm going to pick an Easy Reach Summer that you can pretty much wear most anytime. This one is a very strong fragrance, also one from the house that isn't talked about a lot, and that one is Galloway. Now Galloway, I love the nice pearly white bottle. I do like the bottle design for Parfums de Marly a lot. Bought a nice tester of this, so it was a very affordable price. I think it was only about 120 US dollars. Might have been 110, I don't remember. But this one was fairly inexpensive, and I think that's quite good for 125 milliliters of juice. But this is a absolutely fantastic peppery, musky, clean fragrance. It does have some nice citrus in the opening. That citrus does sort of linger on into the mid, but this is one that I've definitely been reaching for a lot already in the summer, and it's just something that's easy to wear. You can wear it to the office. It's fairly inoffensive, and I think it's just easy to wear. So I like this one a lot. This is one of my easy reaches these days. So the next one is favorite bottle design. I actually have a tie here, so I wasn't sure which one to go with, but both of them I really like the bottle design, not just for the fragrance, but they have a whole line with this sort of bottle line. I'll go with this sort of my second thought, but definitely in contention, and that is Zoologist B. Really all of the Zoologist fragrances, I absolutely love the way the bottles look. So it has a nice angled profile, a nice, I think it has nice solid sharp lines on it that give it nice definition. Great artwork on the front. I really like the caps too. It looks like it's leather or fake leather or whatever on the top, but very, very nice. And I've always liked the brand just because they do, to me, represent a lot of artistic quality, and so they do embody, in my opinion, what niche really is, or often thought of as being. So they're very different, very artistic fragrances, and they have bottle designs that match. So very much enjoy that fragrance, and well, B, and I do like the bottle design. The other one, and the one that I did actually end up picking first, but I don't know, we'll call this a tie, is Naxos by Xerjoff. And really particularly what I mean is these bottle designs here, not just Naxos, although I do really like this frosted glass. What I like is this sphere, sort of ovalish kind of shape, nice cap on this, and this is a very aesthetic bottle design in my opinion. So I really do like the way this one looks. It has the the juice nicely in here, so it gives it a nice aesthetic look all around. So I do like this style. They have a variety of lines actually from Xerjoff that have this shape, and I do really like them. So these are probably two of my favorite designs for bottles. The next one is smallest bottle. Now this is in fact the smallest bottle I have. One of them, or I do have a bunch of 30 mils like this, or a few 30 mils like this one, but I have one smaller, and it is actually Acqua di Gio Profumo, and this is 15 mil. I actually like this because it's like official from the company. It's a nice travel spray. I wish more companies had stuff like this, just because I think this is fairly affordable, and it is nice to have sort of an official sprayer instead of like a travel decant. I mean, decants are nice and they're really good when you want to travel. But the thing is, some bottles I don't want to spray a bunch of stuff in the decants and then it will slowly evaporate over time if I don't get a lot of use out of it within, a year or so. So this one's been good to me, and I've actually almost worked my way through this whole thing. But I've used this one a lot, and it's one I would keep in my bag when I go to work or whatever. And if I forget to wear something or go to the gym or whatever, it's easy to throw on. So the next one is actually biggest bottle. I don't have any huge 250 ml flacons or 500 ml bottles. And again, this probably comes back to what I've learned from this guy, which is 100 ml is more than I will probably ever use anytime in the near future. But I do have some nice 125 ml bottles, and I did want to pick something a little bit different. And so, if I'm not mistaken, this Terre de Hermes Eau Très Fresh is 125 ml. I love this fragrance. I think it's a great summer fragrance. I've seen it on a few people's lists lately, and I'm happy to see that just because I love it so much. It's a great fresh fragrance. It's a little bit different. It's a nice, beautiful, zesty kind of bitter orange vibe with a really nice vetiver backbone. So it does have that woody essence. And considering the type of fragrance it is, I do get a lot of longevity. I get between 6 to 8 hours with that one, which, you know, for a fresher fragrance like this, I think it's fantastic. So I do really like that one. The next one is favorite scent memory, and I thought it was funny when I was watching Equality Fragrances because he said he doesn't really, you know, associate memories with fragrance, and people always say how fragrance is the most connected sense to memory, but I also am kind of the same way in that I don't really associate specific memories with fragrances. I do often, you know, sometimes I'll smell them, I get maybe a little texture, but I don't usually get memories. Sometimes I get feelings, so there's a lot of fragrances that can make me feel really nice or really good. So actually, I'm going to pick one that does have some, at least, sentimental value, which is Wajan. This is the first niche fragrance that I ever bought, so that has a sentimental value for me. I do also really love this fragrance just because, you know, when I do pick it up and I do put it on, I feel very luxurious. And to me, that's one of the best things about fragrance is if it makes you feel more confident, makes you feel happier, puts you in a good mental space, that's fantastic, right? That's the best thing, in my opinion, that it can really do. And this is one of those ones that feels very luxurious when I put it on. I guess one of the nice things about it, or one of the things that was cool about it, because I do love this one a lot, I think I did a video with my nieces once just for fun, something to do with them, and they were picking out their favorite fragrances, and my niece, one of them anyways, picked Wajan, which of course was touching for me because I do have some sentimental attachment to it. I was happy that she also enjoyed it. The next one, Worth the Hype, and considering I believe Big Beard Business started this tag, I'm going to pick one that, at least in my opinion, he's responsible for hyping up. He's the one who talked about this fragrance first. He's the reason I even ever heard about this fragrance or tried this brand, and I'm happy I did because I love this brand. And I really wasn't expecting much of it because a lot of things get hyped up, and I find a lot of times they don't really live up to that hype. But this one certainly did for me. The second I smelled it, I was just absolutely amazed. I hadn't really thought fragrances could be like this one, and that is Black Phantom by Kilian. Fantastic fragrance, gourmand lover's dream if you like chocolate, if it has a little bit of coffee in there. I don't really get much booziness, although there is apparently rum, but it has caramel, sugar cane. It's very seductive. It's a nice, you know, night out fragrance as well. It's really, really well done, very well blended, and it's a beast mode fragrance, so I do really, really enjoy it. The next one, I guess the other side of the coin, not worth the hype, and that is definitely going to be for me, and I am going to do a full review of this one, but is L'Homme Ideal Cologne. And I just think that, you know, a lot of people mention this, how fragrances or some fragrances get hyped up when they get discontinued. You never hear anything about them, then they get hyped up as soon as they're discontinued. It's always kind of weird, but I guess there's also something about, you know, having something that's hard to find, or when something becomes harder to find, it becomes more desirable. And so I think that might be the case here. That's just my personal opinion. You know, I mean, fragrance is one of these very subjective things. You know, it is, you know, well blended fragrance in the sense that it is smooth to me. It doesn't have any real rough edges, but it just smells a little unusual, especially as a summer fragrance. I found it very weird and a little bit weird and creamy. So, you know, that's the almond in there, but it just was not for me. And, you know, it's not a very expensive fragrance, so I wasn't too upset about it, but definitely one that I won't be reaching for. So this next question was actually the hardest question. Favorite fragrance from favorite fragrance house. I don't know that I specifically have a favorite fragrance house. You know, if I had to pick something like Xerjoff or Kilian or Parfums de Marly, I also really like Kerosene. Which is actually making me think that maybe I should have put Kerosene. If I was going to pick a Kerosene right now, by the way, it would be Unknown Pleasures. Fantastic gourmand fragrance. But the one I'm going to go with is maybe a little bit more known. It's definitely more talked about. And I do really enjoy this brand because everything about the brand is great. The aesthetic, the quality, there's a lot of different fragrance choices. And this one is Straight to Heaven Extreme. Now, for me, I like it a little bit more than the Straight to Heaven, although I do also really like Straight to Heaven. This one is boozier, it's got more sweetness in it, and it has a little bit Actually, I think a little bit less on the woody side. I get more woodiness, if I recall, from Straight to Heaven. But this is a really nice fragrance, very classy, very elegant. I actually wore this on Father's Day just because it was a special occasion with my dad, and I wanted to wear something special. And so I wore Straight to Heaven Extreme. But this is a fantastic fragrance. It is limited edition. I don't know if it's even available anymore. But of course, it's very expensive, so I would say try it before you buy it. But it is definitely a good one if you like sweet, boozy kind of fragrances. This is a fantastic choice. Now, the next one, most used fragrance. I wanted to pick something different. I mean, technically, I think the most used would be this fragrance, Bleu de Chanel Parfum, but I already talked about that one. And it's really only the most used because I've had it much longer than anything else. The one I'm actually going to say is my most used fragrance is Italica. Italica, why? Because, well, first of all, it is the only bottle that I've ever bought a second bottle of. Not a backup bottle, so I did go through the first bottle. Now, I went through the whole bottle because I did decant quite a bit of it. As I did mention before in one of previous videos, there was a leak when I bought it. I bought it retail, I bought it at Harvey Nichols, and when I came back home from the UK, I found that it had leaked. And so that was really unfortunate. That was really upsetting. And it was a little bit annoying that I wasn't able to, I talked to Harvey Nichols and they just kind of brushed me off. Now, this became available online for a brief period through the Xerjoff website, and it was, I believe, 15% off. So that was a really good deal. I took advantage of it. I did order it. No leaks this time, so very nice bottle. But I have probably used close to 20 mils, which doesn't sound like that much, but honestly, that's pretty close to as much as I've used of anything. Like I said, this one, I've used a little bit more, but I probably used almost 40 mils of that one, but like I said, I've had it for a very, very long time. So I have a lot of fragrances, and I do rotate fairly consistently to try and get to everything that I have. And so I try to also keep only fragrances that I want to wear. So that's why I went with Italica. Definitely up there in most used, and it's a fantastic gourmand fragrance if you do get the chance to try it out. Anyways, guys, that is it for this one. I'm going to tag 3 people. I'm going to tag Mo from Scented Engineer. I'm going to tag also Titan Fragrances if he hasn't done this video yet. And I am going to tag Aussie Fragrances. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Answer some of these questions, or even all 13 in the comments. Let me know some fragrances from your collection. And I'll see you guys in the next video.